Today's lesson is all about camels, and there are two different breeds or two types of camels. Here we have one type called the dromedary camel, and this one is very popular. It has one hump. This is the Bactrian camel. The Bactrian camel is way less common, and it has two humps. Now people think that camels store water in their humps, but this is not true. Camels store fat in their humps, and they use this fat as energy so that when they are in the desert and there's no water or food around, their bodies can use that fat in their humps for energy. Here we have a camel's nose and mouth. Their noses are very special. These slits can close tight. So camels can close their noses so that dust does not go inside when they are walking through the dusty desert. They also have lots of hair around their mouths and eyes. They also have 2 rows of eyelashes, and these eyelashes close to help keep dust from going into their eyes. Camels have huge feet, 2 toes on each foot, and their feet are very large to keep them from sinking in the sand. They also have pads under their feet. These pads also help them not to sink in the sand. This is what a camel's footprints look like. And here we see what an empty hump looks like and a partially full hump. Remember I told you that their humps have fat in them? So when a camel uses its fat storage, this is what happens to its humps. They sort of flop over. Here we have a milking parlor. Now camels are raised in some countries on farms, just like cows are on farms. And these camels give milk. So this is a milking parlor for camels. Here we see how white and pure the milk is. Camel's milk is very nutritious and rich. And this milk is used to make things like chocolates. And these look like fine chocolates. Here we have other products from the milk, like butter, cheese, and yogurt. Now camel dung or camel poop is burnt for fuel. Here we have someone cooking something on a pile of camel dung. So the dung is being burnt as a source of fire. Here we see camel dung being used as well to make bricks. And these bricks are used to build camel enclosures and in some places even homes and buildings. Here we see camel carcasses. These are the full carcasses of camels, the meat. And from camel carcasses we can get camel meat in burgers, on pizza, and here we see a camel that is beautifully decorated. These camels are used a lot for special events and also for taking tourists around. They will do tours on camels like these. Here we have camel racing, and camels move very fast. So if you look in the background, you would see a road with vehicles. Those vehicles drive along the camels that are racing, so that people can look on at the race taking place. Camels are also working animals. They are used to pull things and to carry heavy loads. Here we see them in the desert, and these are tourists taking a ride. Camels are called the ships of the desert, and that's because they are like ships carrying people across the desert. Here we have a camel furniture. That means that this furniture is made out of the skin or hide from camel. And here we have a scarf made from the hair of a camel. And brushes as well are made from the bristly hairs around camels' faces and even on their bodies too. Today, as you know, we are talking about camels. Now, camels are wild animals, but they are also domesticated animals. For many years, people have been domesticating camels. They have been raising them as livestock. Now, livestock means just like other farm animals, cattle, horses, and chickens, just like that, camels are also known as livestock. They have been raised for many years and domesticated for their meat, their milk, their skin or hide, their dung, and even their hair. All of those are things that people use from camels or raise them for. Now, camels are also working animals. You will see them being used a lot in desert areas to transport people and also cargo. Cargo means goods. So you will see people riding on camels, or you will see camels pulling carts or carrying heavy loads. So they are known as working animals, especially in desert areas. Now, the alpaca, the vicuña, llamas, guanaco, all of those are family to camels. So they have lots of family living in the same desert type area that they live in. Camels are mammals, and we know 3 things about mammals. We've already been talking about mammals. Can you tell me 3 things about mammals? Do you think you can remember them? Alright, let's go over the 3 things that describe mammals. Number 1 has to do with their blood. They are warm-blooded. So mammals are warm-blooded. Number 2, they give live birth. This means that the mommy pushes out the baby. Live birth. The baby is not born in an egg. It's alive. So they give live birth, and they can give live birth to up to 1 baby at a time. And number 3, they suckle their young. Suckling means giving milk. So camels give their babies young. So those 3 things make them mammals. They are warm-blooded, they give live birth, and they suckle their young. Camels are also herbivores. And when you hear the word herb, that tells you plant. So herbivores are animals that eat plant material only. Camels love to eat oats, wheat, grains, seeds, grasses, and they will even eat thorny plants, things that grow out in desert areas. So let's go over. Wheat, oats, grains, seeds, grass, and even thorny plants. Anything that they can find in a desert area that is plant material. Now, there are 2 species of camels. We are going to go through these species today, and they're very interesting. Now, here's how you can remember those species. The first species is called the dromedary camel. Now, the dromedary camel has how many humps? Yes, it has 1 hump. The dromedary camel has 1 hump, and about 94% of the population are dromedary camels. So these 1-humped camels are the most popular ones that you will find. Now, the word dromedary starts with an uppercase letter D, dromedary. And if you turn the D sideways, it will give you the shape of a hump. So that's how we can remember that the dromedary camel has 1 hump. Dromedary, 1. Okay? And the next type we have is the Bactrian camel. Now, Bactrian camels are very rare. They have how many humps? 1, 2. Bactrian camels are smaller and they have 2 humps. So these are 2-humped camels. Only about 6% of the population are Bactrian camels. So there aren't many Bactrian ones that exist. Now Bactrian starts with the letter B, and this is an uppercase letter B. If you turn it sideways, you will get 1, 2. 2 humps. So that can help you remember that the Bactrian camel has 2 humps. So we had the dromedary and the Bactrian. This is a Bactrian camel with 2 humps as well. People think that camels store water in their humps, but that's not true. Camels, when they have water and food, will drink a lot and eat a lot, and they will store that as fat in their humps. So their humps have fat in them, and when camels don't have food or water readily available, they will use this fat and burn it as energy to keep them going. Camels live in the world's driest deserts. They have humps of fat on their backs that help them survive for days without food or water. And we talked about the dromedary camel with 1 hump and the Bactrian camel with 2 humps. The dromedary is bigger and the Bactrian is smaller. Camels live in lots of parts around the world, like India, Asia, and even North Africa. These are places that have a lot of desert-like conditions. So this is where you will find camels living naturally. Now camels have a lot of adaptations. These are things that help them to live in desert-like environments. They have lots of things that allow them to live comfortably. So let's talk about some of these things. Now the first thing is their ability to store fat in their humps. Remember, when camels get food and water, they will eat and drink a lot because they are storing fat in their humps. They will use this fat when traveling or journeying and use it for energy, especially because water and food are very scarce in the desert. This means that you don't find a lot of food and water around. So camels can use their fat as energy so that they don't die. They can survive a long time without food and water. Next, they have large, flat feet. Let's have a look at what a camel's foot looks like. So they have very large, flat feet, and these feet have pads at the bottom of them. This helps camels from sinking into the sand. In the desert, there's lots of sand. So their large, flat feet help to keep them able to walk on the sand without sinking down. Camels can also tolerate heat. This means that they can live in hot desert-like environments without feeling ill or tired from the heat. They can tolerate the heat, so they can live there. That's number 3. Next, camels have slit-like nostrils. Now we can't see it too well in this picture, but their nostrils are like slits. They are not round like ours. Camels can close their nostrils when walking through the desert. So when sand is blowing, they can close their nostrils so that sand does not go into their noses. So that's something that they can do that's interesting. Can you close your nose without holding it? No, you can't, but camels can. Also, camels have 2 rows of eyelashes. We only have 1, but they have 2, and they have very long eyelashes. This helps to keep sand out of their eyes, because again, in the desert, there's lots and lots of sand. So that's another adaptation that helps them when living in the desert. Now, camels are raised for lots of different reasons. Let's talk about some of the products that we get from camels. The first product I'm going to talk about is meat. And here we have the carcasses of camels. And this is camel meat. Camel meat is a red to dark brown color. and it's low in fat. So this is a healthy meat to eat. You can make things like hamburgers, it can be grilled, you can also put it on a pizza. So camel meat is a healthy meat to eat. Next we get milk from camels. Here we have a milking parlor. So we have camels being milked here. And a milking parlor is used to extract the milk from the camel. Now this milk is low in fat and it's rich in nutrients. So it's a very healthy milk to drink, but it's also really expensive. You can use that milk to make butter, cheese, yogurt, and even fine chocolates like these here. Next, we can get skin or hide from camels. Their skin or hide is used to make leather products, furniture, belts, bags, suitcases, watch bands, all of those things. Even mats, tents, and other things as well too. So their skin or hide is useful. Camels also have a lot of hair on their body, and that hair is used to make things like clothing, blankets, scarves, and even brushes too, like paint brushes or brushes for your hair. And lastly, we have the dung from camels. Now camel dung or camel poop is used for fuel. When out in the desert, you can burn camel poop and it can be used for fuel. You can start a fire using its poop or its dung. And the last thing I have to show you is a picture here of camel racing. Now camels are also raced as well. So this is a form of entertainment and also a sport too. So we've talked about camels today. Do you know that camels are also called ships of the desert? And this is because when you are on a ship, you move like this. And when you are sitting on a camel, it feels just like that. When the camel is walking, you move like this. Also, the desert is a wide open area of sand, just like a huge ocean of water. That's why they call camels the ships of the desert, because they look like ships going across a large body of water. Here we have the dromedary camel. Our first year students are coloring the dromedary camel. Dromedary camels have one hump. Camel starts with the letter C that goes K, camel. Today you will be tracing the word dromedary, and that's a big word. Let's get started with our letter D. Now D is a tall letter. We start on the broken line, go around, then we have to go all the way up to the top line and back down again. R is short. Start on the broken line, go down to the bottom, go back up and over. O starts on the top line here on the broken line. We go down to the bottom and back up to the broken line. M goes down, go back up and over. Now we have to go up the same line and over. E goes across, up to the broken line and around. D again, start on the broken line, go all the way up to the top, come back down again. A goes around, up and down. R goes down, up and over. And Y is a hanging letter. Start on the broken line, go down, up to the broken line, back down again like a U, but we add a tail for a Y. Dromedary. Our second year students are coloring the Bactrian camel. Bactrian camels have two humps. The Bactrian camel has two humps. Long eyelashes protect his eyes. Remember we talked about their 2 rows of eyelashes that are very long to keep sand out? Let's go ahead and read the sentence now. The first word is a sight word that we all should know by now. The. B-A-K-T-R. B-A-K-T-R. tr. B-a-k-tr. Bactrian. Trian. Bactrian. 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 Camel. Camel. Has. Has. T-w-a. T-w-u. T-u. Two. Humps. 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 L-o-n-g. Long. Long. E-y-e. I. L-a-s-h-is. L-a-sh-is. Lashes. P-r-o-t-ect. P-r-o-t-ect. Protect. H-is. His. E-y-s. Eyes. Eyes. Now here we have an uppercase letter B for Bactrian because it's the name of a camel, the Bactrian camel. Also you would see we have two sentences. The first one starts with an uppercase letter T. This one starts with an uppercase letter L. We also have two full stops, one after each sentence. The Bactrian camel has two humps. Long eyelashes protect his eyes. So, do you think you can remember anything about camels? We talked a lot about them. Can you even try to remember the two types? We have the dromedary and the Bactrian camel. Today's activity is all about sequencing, letter sequencing. We are going to be putting words in alphabetical order. Therefore, we are going to pay attention to the first letter of each word so that we can put these words in alphabetical order. Alphabetical order means in order of the alphabet. How the alphabet is said. A, B, C, D. And it's important to say the alphabet, not sing it. Because elemental P is not a letter. L, M, N, O, P are letters. So you see it's important to say the alphabet, not sing. Now on your paper you have some objects and you have 4 different sets to sequence. On the board I have some different objects and we are going to sequence these. So let's look at the first one here. Number 1, we have 3 objects. The first one is a net. N-et. Net. So I underline the first letter in net, the letter N. Here we have a leaf. L-e-a-f. 2 vowels, so the first one says its name. E. L-e-f. Leaf. And it starts with L. And here we have a V-A-S-E. We have a magic E that makes this A make the sound of its name. V-A-S. Vase. That starts with V. So we have N, L, and V. We are going to say our alphabet while focusing on these 3 letters. So you cannot look everywhere. You have to focus on the 3 letters here. And we're going to say the alphabet listening for which one of these comes first. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Now I have an L. So that means this word leaf will come first when we are putting these in alphabetical order. Leaf is spelled L-E-A-F. E-A-F. Good. So leaf comes first. Now we have N and V left. So let's say the alphabet again, listening for N or V. Let's go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. We have an N. So that means that the word net will be next. N, E, T. N-E-T. So we are left with one more word. So obviously this word will be the last one. Vase. So we have no reason to say the alphabet again because it's the last one. So that means we've now put all three words in alphabetical order. Leaf, net, and vase. Let's do number 2. We have S-A-N, sun. That starts with the letter S. This is an octopus. O-K-T-O-P-U-S. Octopus. Octopus that starts with O. And here we have a M-O-U-S. Mouse. Mouse. That starts with M. So let's say the alphabet listening for S, O, and M. Let's see which one comes first. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, and we have M for mouse. M-O-U-S-E. M-O-U-S-E. Now I have to stop here, but when I come back, I'll complete the rest by listening for S and O. Now again, we have to listen for S and O. M is finished. So let's go now. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. We have an O for octopus. O, C, T, O. C, T, O. P-U-S. P-U-S. Okay, so that means the last one we have left is sun. S-U-N. Because obviously it's the only one remaining, so it will go last. So now we have the words mouse, octopus, and sun placed in alphabetical order, because we put the letters that they started with in alphabetical order. Now you have 4 different sets here to do. Let's see if you can sequence these according to the order of the alphabet.